So here's a good question. I think I've asked this question before to all my students, whether I want you in my classroom or not. I'm gonna ask some good questions. First one, how do you know when you're looking at a killer? I mean someone who's killed before. There are a lot of those people walking around here. People who have killed. And I don't mean goats and sheep and cows and fucking opossum and all that defenseless shit that can't do nothing about getting shot. I mean, there are people around here who have killed before. There are people around here who have been to lynchings, real life ones. Seen them with our own eyeballs. Those people still exist. They're still around. And don't trip off it, because we just playing word games. It's all hangman. Right? See, I don't let people tell me that only black folk got lynched. You see what I mean? I know a lot of cowboys that fucking hung from gallows. I know a lot of pirates who got fucking hung from gallows. Right? It's only just the black man that got fucking lynch mobbed, ran into jail, hung from a fucking tree. Nah, that's not accurate. However, I will say that some of these people, they do got their niggas in order. They got their fucking blacks definitely jazzed the fuck up on that darky stuff, that dark key, right? Don't flag me. I'm talking piano stuff. I'm talking ragtime for you bandana wearing people. They like to wear your rag, your gang rag, and throw it up in the air and shit. And sometimes it's ragtime. You know what I mean? Don't take it personally. Ragtime is actually sometimes pretty good music. It's offensive as fuck, right? Because it's syncopation and it's all this stuff that is racism. Like them niggas didn't want to be playing piano. Them blacks didn't want to be in the motherfucking speakeasy, getting drunk, having the jazz party, the sex party. Right? They didn't want to be back there doing whatever it is that they wanted to do. Some people get it twisted. They think that I stop for white people because they're white. No, I stop for certain people because they're elderly. This is what I do. Something tells me I was raised correctly, but not by my mother though. Don't think it was her. She was just doing what she saw other people doing. And anyway, actually it was some of my teachers that taught me to try to respect my elders, right? This stuff isn't new. I remember Miss Heidi at Andrews, what was it? Andrews Primary School. They don't have primary schools anymore, right? Because we're old. We're old now. But I went to Andrews Primary. Miss Heidi, she gave me a chow chow. Bit one of my half sisters in the mouth. And a fucking Marine named Ted Clark drove me out into the wilderness with my dog and threw my dog out into the damn shit. And threw my dog out in the side of the road, and I watched my dog chasing after the car. That shit was traumatizing. That hurt badly, because that was my friend. Oh man, we used to go out into the woods with my BB gun, and I swear I was killing shit out there. Copperheads and fucking diamondback rattlers be damned. Right? I was out there. by myself with my dog. Anyway, but she was a very eccentric woman. She wore the damn tight, you know, the tights like one of them flash dance women or something, like aerobics, like an aerobics exercise person or something. She was a spirit counselor. That's what they called her, right? Her job was to make sure that the kids were in high spirits, right? That we were, because we lived in a very depressing reality. So Miss Heidi's job was to get us to dance and to get us to smile and to get us to listen to music and all this other stuff. And I love her, and I will never forget her. Another person was Miss Cox, right? I love her. I will never forget her. These are people in the South that were nice to me. Not like Miss Anderson. Not like that black ass church lady that used to treat me like a fucking animal while treating the white children very nicely. Right? Treating them extra special. Maybe I learned that somewhere, huh? Maybe I learned that sort of behavior from black people. I'm trying to tell you how it works. I didn't learn that sort of shit from white people. I learned to put white people on a pedestal from black people. Period. Got a problem, you know, go figure out why they do that. Don't try to dissect me. This was all in South Carolina. It's a very interesting culture there. It's very yes sir. It's very much of that over there, right? But we learned certain things. I mean, I learned that them electric horse pens will fuck you up. I learned that them horses also can knock those things down real easily. And that them things are wound up so tight that if one post falls, the entire motherfucking fence falls down. We used to do dumb shit like crack eggs and shit and see what the electric posts cook the eggs and shit. Very mischievous children. Very, very, very scientific and trying to figure shit out. Why? Because they teach you that science is important when you're in elementary school. They teach you that in primary school. They teach you to use, I've gone over this shit 1,000 times. They teach you to use magnifying glasses. They teach you to identify colors. They teach you platonics. They teach you high fucking science in elementary school. That's why it's called elementary school, because you learn the elements. You learn the elemental functions as a small, little, tiny fucking child. All that stuff you're gonna need to know when you get to college, if you're going to go to a liberal arts institution and study those Greek and Egyptian and Roman builders and sculptors and artisans and inventors and painters and even further beyond into the medieval. I mean, I guess that's an in-between period, kind of archaic. We don't know what that period was because it's the Dark Ages. Right? We don't know exactly when that was and when that wasn't, because there weren't building at that time, and they weren't learning at that time, and they weren't studying at that time, because everything was confused. Everything was mixed together by that point. So these Africans could not recognize themselves anymore unless they were very high-minded and knew what the fuck they were looking for. And then they could go to these other schools and they could see themselves in those schools. And that was kind of like, yeah, you're welcome here, sort of, I guess. Right? It's like hermeneutics. It's like these black, historically black institutions where these motherfuckers be, that's Anubis. I'm not going to keep, well, yes I am. I'm going to keep going over it because you guys are stupid. And it seems to be that if I don't fucking shuffle the deck and then put the cards in order and then shuffle them again, if I don't play what's that fucking game, Solitaire, with you, you'll all be just fucking stupid. Would you vote for me after I called you stupid, I don't know, 9 million times? Maybe you would. Only if you realize you're stupid. Right? I think I had some teachers say that. I know it was psychiatrists that said that to me when I was a small child. Don't fucking question my pockets. Because let me tell you something. If you question my pockets, then I'm going to want to audit your bitch ass. I'm going to want to know where you're cutting corners. I'm going to want to know where you're fucking cheating on your tax returns. I'm going to want to know all the fucking cheating you're doing. Don't question my pocket. Don't question me. Here's a good reason why. Because I've been dealing with psychiatrists since I was a small child. They told me I was stupid. They told me I had fucking attention deficit disorder. They told me all this different shit when I was a small kid. So that changed now? Then you have no idea how my household is structured or how I fucking get money. And as long as I'm not selling drugs or fucking turning out your grandchildren, you should mind your fucking business. As long as I'm not lowering the property value where you live at, you should shut the fuck up. Why? Because it's making things better and we don't want things to be better. We want things... Nah, see, that's what you don't get. That's not being progressive. That's them claiming, that's them trying to claim the credit for progress. How the fuck you gonna call yourself a progressive? Like your team is the only team that progress. There's no progress on the other side. Doesn't happen. Some people in this country, that's all they want is unity. And there are other people in this country that don't want that shit because that's how they're getting paid. Some of these people, they speak real good English and they're not from here. They're right in there in the Home Depot, fucking bopping it around. All these places. Doing what it is that they do. But it's so mixed up now that I'm not even going to take time to try to figure out which one of your darkies are friendly or not. What I'm going to do is what you taught me to do. I'm going to judge them all. I'm going to take time to figure out which one of you guys can be helped and which ones can't. That's for the judicial system to do. That's for the judicial system to figure out. To sit there all day long and go through your fucking files and through your personal papers to find out which one of you should go to prison forever. I try to help so many people, and after I left, those people went to prison for a very long time. And I don't feel bad for them because I tried to help them. I tried to... I won't say I tried to save them, but I definitely showed them alternative route to not go to prison forever. I remember one of my great aunts, she said to me, she was like, I wish my boys had some of that what you have. And that's a trip because that's a fucking line from Boys in the Hood. Verbatim. That is a line from Boys in the Hood. Except she ain't black, except all her kids are black. And she loves black people, but she don't like black people. She prefers Mexicans, but none of her kids are Mexican until she gets around Mexicans because they're black. Her name's Kathy. And her kids stay sitting in prisons and all that shit. Well, I wonder why they stay sitting in prisons. Well, maybe where they lived, them people burnt out that fucking county and that city so bad that there was no other option than to toss them under a fucking prison. Let's say it this way. If I sit in Georgetown for, I don't know, 40 years, then that county and that city knows every fucking thing there is to know about me. Everything. They know who's got the dope. They know who doesn't got the dope. They know who's are killers. They know who aren't killers. Right? I got family, I know people, they went to jail for prison for murder. But they're out though. They're not in prison. They didn't get life. Right here in Texas, the motherfuckers get 10 years for murder. Crazy crackers, spamming motherfuckers, giving them 100 million years, nigga. Motherfuckers are sad and sick and weird. Motherfucking cracker gave a nigga 1,000,000 years. No, they don't. No, they don't. How do you know, sir? I just told you. I know people who skunk motherfuckers and they're not in prison. I seen them with my own eyes. I was like, damn, I thought you was never getting out. Me too, nigga. Right? Because then they got the people that look into it for you. Right? They said, no, we need the facts of this case have not been looked into credibly and appropriately. We need to re-examine the facts of the case. So what had really happened was he was defending himself when he killed that motherfucker. And it was because of this, and this, and he was in fear for his life. So he killed him. And that's not murder. So we need to overturn this conviction. And they say, but he's a gang member. And they say, but that's not important, sir, Your Honor. And they say, well, he's a drug dealer too. And they say, that's not the facts as they stand in this case, sir. The evidence does not point to that. And I've already stated, you can have certain information suppressed should you be smart enough to go to fucking trial. Should you be smart enough to take that shit all the way to trial, then certain information can be suppressed because it's prejudicial. Meaning, I cannot defend myself. Look at this motherfucker. It says no dogs, right? Right here with the prairie dogs. That's what it says. These motherfuckers out here walking the pit bull where it says no fucking dogs and the prairie dogs. Wanna know why? Because it's America and we do what the fuck we want to do. No, because they don't follow the rules. And that's the same motherfucker I just saw. Right there. That's the same motherfucker I was just looking at in Home Depot or something. Walking his pit bull in the fucking area that says no dogs because the prairie dogs, right? Because they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Not all of them, just certain of them. Some people actually can read and don't like to do that sort of shit. However, they're rabble-rousers that think they can fucking change things by doing what the fuck they want to do. And that's very interesting. But that's the same motherfucker that I was just looking at. It's not a mystery. So anyway, because the thing, hold on. Let me
sometimes I wonder what
Sometimes I don't wonder what Kendrick Lamar has to say about nothing. But I ain't gonna call him a cracker because I don't need to call him no names. However, that's the same motherfucker I was just looking at in the Home Depot. Let me think. Was that Home Depot? One of them places. They don't seem to have anything to do during the day either. A lot of free time on their hands, like me. So anyway, back to the story, right? I mean, how some people will wonder, how is it that all this happened like this? How is it that you became so important to people who are pieces of shit? How is it that you became so important to rabble rousers and weirdos who want to let their freak flag fly? Well, it mostly starts because I'm handsome. Another part of it is because I won't spread my asshole open for them. See, they're throwing trash and shit out here on the ground. Some people think that's black people, and sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's white people doing that. They're all fucking weird. They're all confused. They're all fucking strange. It's like, if he follows the rules, we're gonna break the rules because we hate him, right? But if he breaks the rules, we're gonna fucking tell on him. And that's them new barfs. That's still them faggot ass new barfs. I mean, if they happen to be Jewish, do something about that shit. That nasty bitch ain't nothing to me. For real. She loves her some Africans too, and she likes little kids too. She's fucking weird. They kicked her off that Sioux reservation. They kicked that bitch off the Lakota Sioux reservation. Why did they do that? Why did they kick that bitch, Arlene Newbarf, off the Lakota Sioux reservation? Where she was supposed to be a teacher, interacting with people's kids. Why they kick that bitch off the reservation? And then why did she go right back to San Diego living with her mom because the man that didn't want her because she's a trash and he moved on from there. Then she was heartbroken and men were terrible and he was like, bitch, you're crazy and fuck that. But then she got a job in education in San Diego, working with kids. I thought that's what they said cops do. Like, the cops get fired and then they fucking go to another place and they continue to terrorize people from, getting hired by a different police department after they kill people or after they do whatever it is that they did that got them fired. So isn't that a good question? Like, how is that bitch still a teacher? And why did she get kicked off the Lakota reservation though? That's what I want to know. What was the reason? What was the reason that Arlene Newbarth, I call her Newbarth, I'm sure other people call her Newbarth too, very aggressive because she got picked on probably because she's a little weird bitch that her parents was like, just let her do whatever she wants, just let her explore, no fucking guidance. She's in Smorgasland too. She's over there in East San Diego doing a bunch of drugs and humping a bunch of Africans from Africa. Arlene Newbarth, that's her name. She lived in Mira Mesa. Why am I so important to some of these people? What is it? What did they notice about me that I didn't notice about myself a long time ago? What is it that I'm not telling people that they want me to be talking about that I'm not going to talk about because people are stupid? Why these churches be out here feeding bums? I used to go to one of them churches, one of them Lift Every Voice and Sing churches, where we made peanut butter sandwiches and shit for homeless people in the park. Sure did. We used to get up all the time and go to the feed the homeless. That's what the fuck that church did. If we're gonna go feed the homeless, we're gonna go feed the pedophiles and the child molesters and the people who cannot pay rent because they cannot live. This government is set up to where as long as you're not doing certain things, you're probably gonna have a home to live in. It's the people who fall outside of those things, who are not suitable. They're not fit to live in an apartment building with you or in a neighborhood next to your children. People who are not fit for that. Oftentimes, those are the people that are sitting outside and refusing to get help. It isn't just the drugs, because they can help people kick drugs. Believe it or not, there's like a lot of stories about people overcoming terrible, terrible addictions. Horrible ones. They're like fucked up their whole life and they changed. Why is it that these motherfuckers are activating these bums in these tents, and then these bums are sitting around the goddamn housing authority building in tents, smoking crack and fucking with kids and doing all that other shit? I mean, go to San Diego. It's the most beautifulest city in the whole fucking world. Go there. Go to Petco Park. I already showed you what it looks like. You can have that here too. Keep voting for these bright ass rainbow people. They're rainbow bright. I mean, if you can't see how that works already, I think there are people who explain that 1,000 times though already. Then you know what they're doing? Then on the other side, the Republicans say, okay, we'll get them off the street and we'll give them jobs. And now you got a bunch of retarded, crazy people in the damn store stealing from the corporations they work for, doing all kind of weird shit, getting them sued. You know what? One of these people, they're gonna fuck with me wrong, and I'm just gonna say fuck you and sue them. I'm telling you, if you want to see me really be Jewish, if you want to see the Jew in me, keep fucking with me, and I'll just sue everything. I'll keep suing things. I'll just go from place to place chasing ambulances and suing everybody. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck you just say to me? I'm suing you. What the fuck you just do right now? I'm suing you. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep fucking with me? I'm suing you. It's good money for the lawyers, except I don't need the lawyers. I mean, I got lawyers, and lawyers are cool, and you know, that's the mafia, fool. Right? The lawyers. However, keep fucking with me wrong, I'll just sue you. I could sue everywhere that I lived at in Oklahoma already if I wanted to. But sometimes we don't do that. Wanna know why? Because that ain't why we're here. And they could keep changing the company name. They could keep changing the name from Trinity to Asset to fucking Christian Faith Ministries or whatever the fuck they want to change their company name to. The bottom line is, it's not like I can't find that information and present it in a court. Especially if I can prove that you guys are keeping your employees, same employees. You guys aren't even smart enough to change your company name and fire everybody. You just changed the company name and got the same fucking employees. Which makes it very easy to prove that it's a continuing criminal enterprise. Makes it real easy to do that. See, I'm the type of person I would need while I'm getting ready to sue the fuck out of you. I wouldn't need to sit in a law library, but I would need to sit like in a cabin somewhere, you know, in the wilderness. Maybe in the mountains, maybe somewhere like Julian or some campground. Without any stressors, right? Without anything to stress me the fuck out. And when I tell you, I guarantee you, I win every time. I win every time. I won this time. When I dropped that suit against the police, I won. I didn't let a bunch of people that don't like me and I don't like them get me to do anything for them. I looked at the facts as they stood, I weighed them, and I made a decision that was not financially beneficial to myself. There are people that will say, well, that's your fault, stupid. No. I'm not going to attack police officers because they're trained to be stupid. The same as I could come out here and start killing you niggas because you're trained to be dumb. But I'm not gonna attack a bunch of police officers because they're trained to be stupid. And then some of these cops, these niggas are full of shit. They know what it is. These Negroes are dumb. Get out my way, nigger! Anyway, because some of them are trained to be fucking stupid, right? The police be letting these niggas go every day. They let these niggas go every motherfucking day. Crying ass, lying motherfuckers. The police, oh yeah, he's cool. That cop, he's cool as fuck. He's cool. He's cool. He ain't tripping. He ain't tripping on us, blood. He ain't tripping on us. How do I know? There are cops that have let me go when they could have fucking signed me up for the prison if that's what they wanted to do. Right that moment. They would have, what the fuck? I couldn't have did nothing about it. Not only was I red-handed, but should it been that person's decision to destroy me at that point? A couple of them cops could have made that decision and it would have just been them doing their job. Would have been them following protocol. So you know what? I made a decision. I say, you know what? I'm gonna let them go. And there's still much love to every judge that freed me. Right? Gary Cortez. He wasn't the nicest man in the whole world. Right? Just like that fucking Paul J. Pfingst. Gosh, and he's a fucking, ain't he a public defender now? Or he's a defense attorney now. He prosecuted 9 million people. Every damn piece of paper I got from a court was signed by Paul J. Pfingst. Now he's a defense attorney. He played for the other side. He gets people off. Isn't that interesting? I could cry about being stalked and harassed. That ain't what brings tears to my eyes. I think it's funny. Sometimes it's invigorating. It's exciting sometimes. Especially when it's not the feds. This isn't the feds doing this. They don't got enough money for that. Could be some of these organizations they have. Could be the United Church of Christ. Right? Music is evil. Don't listen to any music unless it's coming from our vocal cords. Hey, it's Bel Air. There's Fresh Prince and all that shit right here. They on the come up. They're just dreaming for a dream right over here. They're just dreaming for a wake up. They're just dreaming for something to come out the sky and dreaming for a dream. They got a bus route right here. That's nice. Some people are saying, yes, that's what we want you to do. We want you to go into government. For real, for real. Don't do it from the shadows. Go into the thing so we can vet you and find out all your secrets and then try to fuck with you that way. Why? When I could just run it from right here. FSNB South. You think these fucking black people hate the police? Nah, because how many times the cops let these niggas go? I mean, when I say nigga, I'm not saying N-I-G-G-A. I'm saying N-I-G-G-U-H. Nigga. What are they saying? They're doing it to they're doing it to give you rope to hang yourself with. You know how many times I've heard that shit? Ain't nobody hung me yet. They're giving you rope to hang yourself with. Well, that's hangman. That's word game. That's the fool's journey. That's the hanged man. That's tarot cards. You're not supposed to play that game. Poker face. You're not supposed to play tarot. Poker face. Poker face. Poker face. Poker face. Hey, look at the junkyard. I can get scrap materials here to build with. If I have apartments and houses for rent, tell you dirty people, they're just going to tear their shit up anyway. In order to maximize profits, we're going to use reclaimed material. We're going to recycle from the junkyard in our construction, in our homes, because it's a profit margin. Something tells me Oklahoma has one of the worst insurance situations in, well, the South, period. That's their relationship with California, right? It's insurance. Because these people out here, their houses last about 5 years. 10, if you're lucky. 20 if you're really going hard in the paint. And they rely on insurance for their livelihoods. If it weren't for the insurance, man, these people would have been done, finished long time ago. You think they hate insurance companies around here? You think they love them? However, who do they really fear around here? I'm going to tell you who really scares them. And this is why they hate the federal government. Who scares them is the IRS. Irwin R. Shyster and them. But ain't that Ted DiBiase's homeboy? Like, do you remember when you watch wrestling? When you're watching wrestling, those are two different. Well, that's a fish. A wrestling, it's like a Chinese fish. These states, their biggest fear is the IRS. To really, truly to be audited, right? To really look at how much money goes in, how much money goes out, and where they're cutting corners, and where they're writing shit off that they shouldn't be, and all that other stuff, right? They're getting tax credits, right? They're looking at other people who are getting tax credits, while at the same time getting tax credits. Here's another interesting thing. So, they're crying about people on the chain gang, right? But then when I look at these construction workers, that's all I see. I see a motherfucking chain gang. A work crew. That's what they're called in jail, and that's what they're called out here too. They're called work crews. And half of them have been to prison. Half of them have been to jail. Oftentimes, that's how they know how to use a fucking McLeod in the first place. Half of them, that's where they learn to use a motherfucking shovel. That's where they learn fire breaks. That's where they learn industrial equipment, heavy equipment. Well, nah, maybe not that. That's where half of them learn the law and to study law. Right? It's experience. They've experienced certain things. They've tried it and failed and watched other people try and fail. And I've also watched other people try and succeed. And then they start to calculate and count. Question is this. When I was entrapped, who entrapped me? It was the police that entrapped me. However, were they Democrats or were they Republican police? It was Mid-City Police Department that entrapped me. So I could look at the demographics there. Well, I don't need to look at the demographics there. I know what's behind Hoover High School. Sometimes when you're on these main drags, you can't see who lives there because their houses are tucked away behind things. So you think you're in a terrible, fucking horrible ghetto when you're not. You think you're in a horrible, horrible fucking ghetto. It's so hood, but it's not. And the voting demographic does not reflect your dumbass neither. And you can pack as many homeless people into your fucking constituency, into your area, and tell them to vote. Look, we're going to have all these people come to San Diego and live in tents right here in San Diego. And then after 30 days, they can register to vote to flip your motherfucking county. Then the legislators tear your asses up. going in there. Hell to the no. Maybe for lunch, shit, I go in there and have a meal. But the rest of it, I'm not interested in it. Not telling you not to go in there. It's your life. Have fun. It's an arcade. It's an adult arcade, right? Just don't play too much of them damn video games, motherfucker, because you won't have a life. You're not learning shit. Well, yes, you are. You're learning to count. You're learning to average. You're learning to, as long as you don't indulge overly in this shit, you're learning to manage and micromanage and to count and to calculate and all kinds of other shit on the fly. Thank Comanche Nation Casino for that. But should you sit at the video game too long, don't blame them for it. And as I've told you, some of these places, they know that these video games can be addictive, right? So what they do is they'll come get you and they'll say, you need to leave now. They're not that heartless. They're not that, but you know, I don't fucking care about nothing. They're not terrible, horrible. It's like when you sit at the fucking Street Fighter machine and you're getting your ass beat by a bunch of Vietnamese people because they play that game every fucking day. They have the strategy guide. They know everything there is to know about how to move your fingers and all that shit. And you go into the damn billiard hall, right, where they don't play pool. They play billiards. And you play Street Fighter, and you get your ass beat. But already they're on like 95th edition. They're on the fucking edition where you can change characters in the middle of the motherfucking game and everything. Hyper, Super, Ultra Street Fighter Turbo 9 million. While your ass can't even beat the regular Street Fighter. As such, I would suggest to you that when you go into the adult arcade, which is what this is an adult arcade. That you don't fucking sit there and destroy your life in the process. And then don't blame the motherfucking arcade. That door opens for you, that door closes for you. I know a lot of Asian gamblers, but they're not degenerates. They'll bet on fighting fish, but they know when to get the fuck up and go home. They know not to use their fucking indispensable income in these places. How do they know not to do that? Because it's their culture. They're not stupid. That's all we're doing everywhere we go. We're betting on the outcome instead of betting on the income. Or is that what you're doing? You're betting on your income to try to receive a favorable outcome. I tend not to play arcade machines. I'm one of those men that sit down at the card table. But I don't sit there for too long. And then the other people, we play together to beat this place. To beat the house. Not to beat the place, but to beat that dealer or whoever that is at that table. They have to change the rules. They have to change how many decks, how often they shuffle out them decks. They have to change how often They fucking do all kinds of things in here because if they stick to one particular modus operandi, then eventually they're going to get cooked. It's a nice license plate. I know it's red, black, and yellow. So why you don't tell them that? That particular flag is red, black, and yellow. Lloyds, Zoids, and Groids. With a Black Hawk right on the front. Because these racist Nazis, they love black men. Some of them. That's why they raised them to be giants. Now watch them. They say, who they're gonna pick? Who's gonna be the first draft for the Chicago Bulls? It's gonna be a black guy. He's fast and he could jump really high. No, it's racism. They have us on the fucking slave plantation, man. They're fucking breeding us to be horrible fucking people. If that's the way you choose to spend your money, after they make you a millionaire, you can't give me $100 million, then I'm going to no damn sex party. I'm getting me a real good wife. Then we're going to party whenever we want to. This isn't about love and hate, because there's a thin line between the two, right? You people jump the line all the time. No, we're going this way. No, we're going that way. No, we're going this way. No, we're going that way. No, are you fucking hypocrite? You do the same thing. I voted for the same person last 3 fucking elections. Nobody had to tell me nothing. He had me at grab the pussy. I was like, let's get this man in the office quick as we can. No, really, seriously, I'm that shallow and that low in my being that's really, honestly, the reason I voted for Donald Trump. I could relate to that. I said, you know what? I like to grab the pussy too. It just be standing right there and I just grab it like, you like this, don't you? And that's what these women do. They'll grab a man by his junk in a heartbeat. So give me what I want. You want the money, you gotta earn it. Use what you got to get what you want. This is not the place to talk about this stuff. Want to know why? Because for the most part, this place is full of senior citizens and piece of shit people that try to take advantage of them. Not the casino owners, not the people who own this place. That other element you can't keep out of your house. Motherfucker look like one of them coders. Yo Fat or whatever his name is. Yo, what that motherfucker's name is? Don't worry, I know about them coders. I know some Dakotas too. Some of them play the koto. Free country. I say what I want. And you guys pestering me. You're fucking with me. You think I'm going to talk to you nicely and you guys get on my fucking nerves? No. Call it how I see it. I'm going to call a spade, man. Shit, it's a spade right here. What you throw right there on that table? A spade. And there's a plan to drive all the black balls off the earth. It's a grand design. The white ball doesn't win until the black ball is driven off the earth. Why y'all trying to blackball me? You can't blackball me. I'm white. White power. Let's see what we got here. Hey, it's a Trump edition. That's dope. Now let's see who gets out of here. I have to know. It's important to me. I'm with that. I'm not mad at it. That's how we play in this game. We playing it along racial lines, right? The black man go vote for the black man till the black man votes for the white man because the white man owns the black man, and Don King and Donald Trump, they're good homies. They made a lot of money together already in the past. Something tells me they could continue to shucking and jiving and getting money. And if your memory is not long enough, well, then I don't know what to fucking tell you. I mean, shit, you're stupid. You should learn about this stuff, how it works. I think they have a thing like that. It's a TV show. It's called How Things Work. And it's like they go into the factory and they show you how they make bubble gum. It's like, oh, that's interesting. Never knew that. It's like an industry. It's like they do a lot of hard work just to make a stick of bubble gum. And people get paid for that too. They like live in houses and shit because they make bubblegum sticks. Pretty cool. No, we don't get paid for that anymore. It's all automated. They're replacing us with robots because you motherfuckers are programmable like robots. Why are you mad at the robots for? Reprogram them. As I know that's what you're doing. You're programming the robots to destroy humanity. What is humanity? That's like, sound like a colored person. It's like hue is color. And manatee is like a fucking sea cow. Don't worry, we're just babbling around here. We're just being Babylonian, right? Because it's all mixed up and it don't mean nothing. And if you speak straight to me, I'm going to speak very, very not straight to you, because Slick Willie and them, and Free Willie and One-Eyed Willie too. What's up with that Willie? Shit, I don't want no Willie. I already got Willie. But why is Will.i.am everywhere? What's your name? Will? What's your name? Will? Why you will try to make it seem like I hate one particular group of people? I've already said it. I hate everybody the same. And I love everybody the same too. I'm just your neighborhood player partner king meat man. And I know I could go right up in this casino and knock a couple bitches, and it don't matter how long my dick is neither. Long as I'm on my way to Los Angeles. Right here. And their mamas will give them to me too. The mamas will say, as long as she's a hoe anyway. That's what we've been doing for 59 years. Ever since 1877, all of my sisters were whores. That was good money, and that's how we get our money, and we slut our daughters for these fucking workers around here, because we gotta eat too. It's in the history books. That's why we're gonna legalize prostitution, you guys. We're gonna make sure that the government is the pimp now. Oh shit, look at that. That's where I need to go. Right across the street from the casino. That's what I need in my life. A motherfucking hog. Now, I like them Indian motorcycles better. Harleys are cool. Don't get me fucked up. Don't get it twisted. I would like a nice little touring bike. You know what I'm saying? One of them fat boys. God damn. I would like one of them fat boys. One of them nice little Harleys, right? But I like them Indian motorcycles better. Something tells me they get better gas mileage. I can get further with less in my gas tank. Somebody bust their window. Oh no. Why'd they do that for? Yeah, something tells me if I had one of them Indian motorcycles, I could get a little bit further miles per gallon. Wanna why? Because you can ride them Indian motorcycles hard. Not like a Harley. Harleys, you got to keep up with them. You got to make sure that the maintenance is impeccable on them motherfuckers. That's why they're for sale everywhere you go. It's like, yeah, it's been lightly ridden and hadn't even been ridden that hard, and it's only $2,000 because the springs went out on this motherfucker or the tires cost too much. I don't know. But I feel like them Indian motorcycles, though, you can ride them babies into the fucking sunset without a problem. Nice glide, too. Nice glide on them. If that's what you're looking for in a sports bike or touring bike. Because you're going a long way, right? Don't get none of them ape hangers, though. Don't get none of them ape hangers. Don't get none of them. That's for long legs. You gotta get one of them fat boys for short people. You ever seen the women holding on to the back of them men on those bikes? It's almost like a ritual. It's almost like the burden, the white man's burden. To carry those women on the back of their motorcycles. All very interesting stuff, huh? I would say that it is. Do you think, okay, here's another good question, right? Here's a good one, right? So do you think if the casinos are run by federally recognized tribes, and those tribes work with the federal government, and criminals go in and out of the casinos, that they don't know who you are? and that they don't know how to destroy you if they need to. Let's take it a step further. If they're federally recognized tribes and they work with the federal government, trust me, they do. And they have that facial recognition software that triangulates on your motherfucking face. And you give them your information because you're a members club card holder. That if you do the wrong thing, they cannot then turn that information. They're gonna have to turn it over to the feds. You think they're allowed to tell the feds no? Federal government has a 99.9% conviction rate or some shit like that, don't they? 90-something percentile conviction rate. So hypothetically speaking, we're gonna now talk like lawyers, right? Or scientists, right? Because this is a hypothesis, not a hypotenuse. Why are you trying to play hangman with me, nigga? I mean nigga. Okay. Why are you trying to play hangman with me? Cause you're on a fool's journey for fool's gold, man! You're playing fool's gold! Nope. Slowly but surely working my way to the tippy top. Not to the tip of no dick, but to the top of the food chain where I belong. Then you know what that means? It means we're gonna hunt you, man, because your antlers are too long. We don't want you to become a giant. That's why we gotta keep culling you so you stay small. Oh yes, whoever thinks we're not already at war right now must not know what time it is. That's right, we're at war already. We're still stockpiling though. We're still trying to make sure that when the zombie apocalypse cracks, that some of my white friends have 10 million guns so that they can hand them out to the militia. They're gonna bring me a nice AR-15 because I don't miss. Let's say which one you want. You want the bow and arrow? You want the samurai sword? You want the AR-15? That's the problem I don't miss. You got caught with a fucking handcuff key in your pocket. Yeah. Somebody asked me for that handcuff key too. And I did not give it to that dumbass motherfucker. Then I told him I had to tell him exactly what to say and exactly what to do. And guess what? I let him go. But then you know what he did? He wanted to do it on his own. Gosh, I'm telling me, you're talented. She's got talent. Yeah, he tried to continue maneuvering on his own. And guess what? His people got him at least 20 years. Probably longer than that. Why? Because he wants to listen to Tremaine. He don't want to listen to me. See, if you're going to be in the mafia, you big fucking dummy, there's a certain way to do that shit. You see what I'm saying? Rule number 1, make sure the police are your friends. You fucking big, stupid dummy. Do not rob them. Do not break into their cars. Half of the time, they're cleaning this shit up so you could be all right. And some of us, not all of us. See, some of these cops, let me tell you what they do for me. They get you bitch-ass motherfuckers out of my way. Some of these federal people do that too. They get your ass out of my way. Why? Because they think I'm going to start the Maranzano War. They think I'm going out like a Maranzano. It's boss of bosses, king of kings. Another day in the life of the commission. It's Murder Incorporated, nigga. What's wrong with you? Is that what you guys wanted to do? You guys want to play Irv Gotti? You guys want to play Murder Inc? Well, it's going to be war one way or another. God damn it. Might as well be a quiet war. Only this war is not so very quiet, is it? Have you ever listened to these people talk about resist? Ain't that the white Aryan resistance? Motherfucker, what is you telling them to do? Resist! Resist! Resist what, bitch? It's white motherfucking power! All in your face! In the face! In the motherfucking face! Man, we don't care about these white bitches, man. And them kids, they ain't black. And there are slaves. There are fucking slaves. We enslaved them. Yes, they enslaved their children. And they do that because they know that those kids are not black. Even though they got one drop. I thought if you have one drop, you're black. But then how come when they got one drop, they're still not black? That's why you're enslaving them. And you're finding these nasty bitches, these fucking cows. You're finding these breeders to keep that shit going. So you can keep the abuse going on these little kids. That then turn into angry adults that smoke crack and poke holes in shit until everyone's sick because you couldn't control your bitches or their children because of that one drop that made me white. You don't have to like what I'm saying. In fact, you people are pieces of shit. You want everyone to hear your opinion. And don't want anyone to hear my opinion because I win the election. End the war! You want them to hear your talking points and not my talking points because we're winning in your motherfucking face. In the face, in your face, nigga, in your motherfucking face, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga, in your face. Nigga, call you a nigga in your face, nigga. In the face, nigga. What's that? I'm walk behind you, say fucking nigger, nigga. While you're walking away? Nah, I'll tell you in your face. Nigga, you can't jump, nigga. In the face. Better be careful gambling though, Woody. You'll lose your girlfriend, buddy. But she wasn't yours anyway. She belonged to the hood. That's why her name's Rosie. Whole lot of Rosie. She's not exactly pretty. She's not very smart. But that bitch can get down, 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 down. Oh, yeah? Yeah. What? So if I rap to you, then I can call you a nigga in your face. I say, nigga? Check this out, nigga. Me and those niggas. I'm not going to say me. Okay. Maybe I'll say my niggas because you follow me and you're my slaves. I don't want to say my nigga. I want to say Monica. I think I said that before. It's like the harmonica. It's like a flute for Jezebels. And if you get good at it, you'll be jazzy. You'll be tapping your toes in no time. That's what I like to do. I like to tap toes. I like to tap toes. It's kind of fun. Hey, that's a nice car. So yeah, why are you mad at me for? Why are you angry? Because you're not the master, I'm the master. Are you sure? This is what I heard. I heard that if a woman submits to you, she has all the power. And you want to know why I heard that? Because she can tell on you anytime she wants to. I've said this before. She can say, choke me, spank me, slap me. And then when you slap her, for real, she calling the police on you. And you're going to jail. For slapping some woman that told you to slap her. You're giving her all the power. Because as soon as she wants to turn the tables on you, she's gonna say, he slaps me, he chokes me, he does all that aggressive stuff that I told him I like. I want that. Until it's time to check your motherfucking ass. Then they know how to chain you to the floor. I heard them say that a woman is a ball and chain. I wonder why they say that. Because they can chain your ass to the ground. All you gotta do is skeet in one of them. Should that bitch not care about you for real? Should she not have your best interest at heart? Should she not be one of those people that's going to be with you forever because that's what she really believes in? Her family raised her that way? Well, then you're going to give her what she wants. She's going to give you what you want. And then you're going to be chained to the ground. You didn't negotiate this stuff. Well, maybe you did, because you negotiated it, right? She said, I'll never leave you. And slapped me. Fuck me hard. A real woman ain't gonna tell you how to smack it. She's not gonna tell you how to get it. You're gonna be pleasing to her no matter what. You don't have to do a bunch of weird shit to her. She's gonna come when you call every time. Because she loves you. She feels that you have something other people don't. Which means the other people can't make her come. She could lay there. That's what hoes do. She could lay there. But she ain't coming though. She's not. Sounds to me like some of these girls, they picked up the game. They learned to reverse pimping. Pimping in reverse. They're madams. An old man told me one time, he said the real war is not between black and white. The real war is between man and woman. Why? Because these women are opening the doors. They're opening their vaginas. They're opening the doors for these other people to claim their children. For these other people to claim their progress. I'm not angry with certain groups of people who protect their culture and protect their family and don't want their gene pool if they feel that it's being tainted or whatever, because culture is interesting. And every puzzle piece, I mean, they're puzzle pieces, which means certain pieces don't fit. They just don't. Not if you're going to have a cohesive picture, a clear picture. You could try to force those pieces where they don't go and call it art if you'd like. However, statistically, it's a bunch of noise. Statistically speaking, it's a bunch of noise. They're trying to what? Make it to where the video don't go on the platform. That doesn't work. I learned from your Muslims that I can just use StreamYard or one of those other things. No, that ain't what it is neither. I don't learn anything from them actually. You want me so badly to care that a bass even for Nass did something. You want me to care so badly, and that's the reason I should want to free Palestine. That's the reason I should want to do it, because Shakira had a university. The first university was not by no fucking Muslim. The first university, according to the history books I've read, are Egyptian. Followed by the Greeks. Then followed by Rome. However, something tells me that the first universities are in China. Something tells me that the first universities are in China. Always have been, always will be. Because we're rewriting our own history. We're just shuffling the deck and making that shit mean whatever we want it to mean. See, I don't like to destroy the business, but they got a lot of car washers right here, and then a power washer costs $100. That's the real reason some of the government buildings are closing, because they're no longer necessary. In a lot of regards, they're not generating enough revenue for those buildings to even stay open. Why? Well, you want to blame it on Amazon? So blame it on those South American cichlids and the Africans too for being aggressive. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I did one time. Don't tell anyone I did it, but it was my money and I wanted to know. Right? So I went to a fish store and I bought a very large aquarium. It was very nice. I bought 2 very large filtration systems that were also very nice. Tends to be that the proprietors of these places always gave me fair deals. Never ever one time did they try to rob me, and always gave me the very best equipment for very low prices. So I went to a place, they always say Fontaine's Aquarium, and fountains, because people can't read. The same as you got these black power people keep saying Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois. They sound so stupid to me, because the man has a French name and his name is W.E.B. Du Bois. W.E.B. Du Bois. W.E.B. Du Bois. W.E.B. Du Bois. Why haven't your smart African people corrected you already? Why haven't your smart African people told you, actually, you're saying the man's name wrong? You guys can wear them Kunta Kinte haircuts if you want to. Just don't say that those people were wrong about you. You can wear all that shit you want to wear, but don't then say that those books are racist. Kodak Black dressed like a fucking pickaninny, then don't in turn say the white man did this to us. No, you motherfuckers dressed like pickaninnies because you thought you was cool. And the white man was right. Right? Oh, the police station's on Whitman. It's white man, motherfucker. It's not Whitman. It's white man. Some motherfuckers cannot read. See, I taste that bullshit in my mouth again. That fucking particles and dust. They're supposed to be using water to keep that dust out of the air. But those people don't care. Half of them are the illegal Mexicans you guys are crying about. Those are your city workers. I've said this already. Soon as you go to saying certain shit and doing certain shit, they flood your community with these bogus fucking work contracts and people who are not supposed to be here. Who create conditions that will fuck you up. Because they want to reconquista. But they don't like conquistadors. They're supposed to be using water to keep that dust out of the air. Just like some places, they're supposed to paint when the wind is not terribly active. Then there are people that believe that, this is what they believe. They believe that royalty people get sick because they don't go outside. And that these other people, they're super tough, even though they're mutating faster than most other people. They're suffering genetic mutations and missing chromosomes and shit. And extra, they got extra ones too. Maybe it's because they're huffing paint. You fucking feel sorry for the wrong people. How many of these contractors here that work for the city are not following federal guidelines in their construction work? And why are they not following those guidelines? Because they're trying to maximize their profit. Because whatever's left over that they don't spend, they get to keep. The company does, not the employees. These motherfuckers are expendable. The company that hires them. Long as they can keep the project below budget, the rest of the money they get to keep. Kind of like how when you vote for somebody who doesn't win, do you get your money back? Fuck no, you don't get that money back. Wanna know why you don't get that money back? Because you donated it. You gave it freely. You made a decision to give your money to them. We'll call it a war chest. Spend that money on other things to continue to fuck with you. Only all the money goes to the same place. They're on teams. They're doing the same shit that they're doing on Sad Nutter TV and KBLA. And all them other shits. They're acting like they have different opinions when they're all working together. Kind of like CNN or something. That's like The View. We got all these people who get paid by the same company, except we don't agree with each other. Except we all get paid by the same company to not be agreeing with each other because you're stupid. Then you have these buildings, right? They build these buildings, they build these places. And should these people be able to get them to leave? Well, then the place just sits there until these fucking mole rats, these naked mole rats, can get in there and tear them apart. No person's gonna come in there and buy no business that's fucking ripped to the ground damn near, or been stripped. The same as a smart person doesn't buy anyone else's house. You know what smart people do in these here United States? Smart ones? People who have figured this out well enough to really get money. They build houses from scratch. They have their houses built correctly. So they don't have to breed mold, and so they don't have to fucking suck on asbestos and all those other materials. They can build it more efficiently to continue saving money. Now, we're gonna do a little bit of math. Today I drove all over the place trying to save $20. Had I been able to do so comfortably, I would have made $18 by making a smart purchase. However, people are weird and irritating, and you guys are hiring fucking goof troopers to pretend like they're so happy, and that's what they all do. They all act like they play nice together. We're behaved. We know how to play nicely. You're bad. I would have made $20 in 1 hour. We can even bust that down and say, okay, maybe not quite 20, 18, 15 tops. I'll take it. $15 I would have made. And they'll say, well, how would you have made $15 if you just spent $60? And I will say, I saved myself. Which is profitable. However, then I said, you know what, let me drive from store to store and let me do what I do. Why? Well, because you guys are boring. Some people think this town is boring, and I don't think that the town is boring, and I don't think the city is boring. I think these transplants and these people who came to Oklahoma from Louisiana because of Hurricane Katrina with their fucking grudges, right? These people that went into Texas because we heard the levees bust. We heard George Bush, the same Nazis we voted for. You motherfuckers are weirdos. I vote for Nazis because of white power, motherfucker. Why you vote for them? I vote for Nazis because I want my children to also be Nazis. I want them to be scientists. I want them to be extremely smart, to figure out things that no other race of people can figure out because they're not smart. Then I have to drive, I have to decompress. Why? Because I don't live alone. And it's tough not to whoop somebody's ass. Especially when what they do is counterintuitive as well as counterproductive to what it is you're trying to accomplish. Which is actually to make sure that that person is healthy and healed from a very serious ailment. Because that's what I'm supposed to do. People think, oh, people just let me live somewhere for free. They let us live there for free. No, motherfucker, I had to pay them people. give us nothing. But you know what? It's greater later sometimes. Sometimes it's greater later. They say, you know what? We're working on some things too. And if you can hold on a minute, you're going to have everything you want. You ain't even going to want this. By the time we get you where we need you, you're not even going to want this. I think that's what some of these people are trying to do for other people. Wow. Something in there. Some people won't give you what you want because it's beneath you and them too to do so. Can still taste that bricks or whatever the fuck that chemical was that they were spraying back there. Those construction workers. I can still taste that shit. And I don't care about their conditions. Those people probably not supposed to be here, and that's why they work and don't have any federal protection. It's not that they're tougher than anyone else. Because if they could sue the city, they would. That's what they do. That's the farm workers and shit. That's Cesar Chavez and them. That's what they do. With their worker unions and shit. They go get jobs places and then complain about the conditions when they were hired illegally in the first place. See what happens when you do favors for the wrong people? You hire them under the table because it's cheaper for you. However, it isn't cheaper for you because you lose your business in the long run. You ain't getting anything for cheaper. Because eventually they're going to complain. They're going to strike. That's why in California right now, fast food is $1 million, right? Is that true? They said the price is going up on all of that shit. Well, why? Well, because you let them people try to disturb that business when they shouldn't have had them jobs in the first place. Half of them were illegal and covering for one another, using fake documents and fake credentials. And then they decided for themselves that they weren't being paid enough. Because really they want to send money back to Mexico. Think they give a fuck about this place? They can go home. How about you? Where are you going to go home to? I'm not fleeing to fucking France because the United States is inhospitable to me. Before I ever do that, I'd rather know who it is that's here, that's only been here for one generation. This government could revoke people's citizenship based on treason, based on laws of treason. All they have to do is figure out where the money goes. Should they find that that money ends up, I don't know, involved in a shell company or a shell corporation? And I'm not placating. I know Donald Trump has shell companies. Once you get into business, you'll know how shell companies work. What's the difference between a shell and a shield? If you think these poor people hate me, I mean, the ones that don't like me because I don't like their friends. The vast majority of them love me dearly. Because I don't just fight for myself. I fight for them too. Not like those others that said, we're fighting for you too. They're fighting to freak you out. I'm not gonna fight to freak you out. The world has too many freaks. They're already out here. Why do I need to freak you out? Just find one of the many, I don't know how many ever billion of them there are on this earth, and do the freaky. That one's for sale, huh? A lot of people trying to get out from under these old houses so they could build new ones in other places because they know better. The real estate companies come in here and buy these fucking raggedy ass houses. But it only works if the code enforcers are not doing their job. Welcome to Ancient, Free, and Accepted. I heard someone say, well, if they're accepted, then that means they're not original. Ancient, free, and accepted. Of the glorious and notorious Scottish Rite. They blow those pipes, right? The bagpipes. They blow those snake fiddles. They're snake charmers. You think they're not? You think it's not the same fucking instrument they use to charm snakes? I have a neighbor from over here. Nice. installing drainage. As they're getting smarter about this stuff. Those tin roofs, that old school way kind of works again for some people. Those tin roofs tend to hold up better against water. You don't have to keep fucking reshingling them shits over and over and over and over and over again. You just tack that motherfucker back down if it blows up for some reason. It's a general store. The Redeemer. Who's the Redeemer? That's Christ. He's the Redeemer. Here to redeem you for all your terrible misgivings. Look at this bridge. And the water is flowing again. It's the heartbeat of America. It sure is. Water. It's the heartbeat of America. The rest of that stuff is just a convenience. It's convenient. We don't really need it. Used to be that you could hop on the freeway. That was the water way. It's kind of dangerous though. Might not make it. There's gators and shit in there. A lot of nasty McNasties. Filthy McNasties. A lot of those. Trying to calculate my strengths and my weaknesses for me, and that doesn't work so very well. Or saying what is fair for me and what is not fair for me, and then not wanting people to know what is and isn't fair for you. Like I remember hearing that it was old white women that used to crash into people's cars on purpose, trying to get insurance claims. Then they would catch them broads at the damn aerobics studio doing aerobics. Old rich women. They only show white women. They never showed the black ones. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of black ones that know how to do that too. Beautiful. What is this? Adult and Teen Challenge Center. I don't want to see this. You don't know what I've been through, and the people who do know the things that I've been through, they'll say those people are wrong. Why are they bothering that man? And they say because they're judgmental. And I'll say, well shit, we judge you too. And then we just keep judging. Putting hope within reach. Adult and Teen Challenge Sunrise Campus. I'm going to look into this. Woodlands. Something tells me Why won't you just get a job? Why won't you just be a fucking counselor? Why won't you just work in the government? Why won't you just do this? Why won't you just do that? Why won't you just fuck off? Believe it or not, near to everything I had to go into a court to get. I just didn't do it the way you wanted me to do it. Well, because it's not about, for me, what it's about for you. I'm not gonna ruin a bunch of people just to get to one or two of them. You could have dismissed certain officers. You could have did this. Yeah, you're sideline quarterbacking. You're trying to tell John Elway when he should have thrown the football and who he should have thrown it to. John Elway don't need you to tell him where to throw nothing. Peyton Manning don't need you to tell him where to throw nothing neither. Some of these buildings have the Volks front built right into their fucking design. I've said this before. You can know where you're at. You can know who you're dealing with. Their symbols are right there. Over there is the Sunrise Church Center, and right over here are the Sig Rooms. The Vulcan Forkin. Built right into the design of the house. So anyone who knows and passes that place knows where they're at. I heard someone say that before. Do you know where you are? You know where you are? Yeah, I was in Lakeside, and that's a very small little town. And when I tell you that little used to be black town don't want no problems with me, I mean, probably not. They did think they were intimidating me though. All because some motherfucker was illegally parked and I was trying to get out of the way of an ambulance. Lost a job that day. But that's all right. Those little terriers. That's okay, because the person that was in charge of that place was a fucking weirdo anyway. Name was Salminio. I saw who took over that place. She was an Indian from Native India. She's Native American from Native America. Here's the funny thing. Me and that person, here's why we fell out. Because he kept trying to humiliate me. And he kept trying to steal from me. While trying to get me to work for him. Unfortunately, a lot of these people who are extremely crooked and criminals, some of them are in the Navy. I feel like some of them probably join other organizations when they get off them boats, or when they go overseas and are stationed elsewhere. Gives them access to other criminal enterprises, other organizations. None of which I'm shitting on. I'm just, you know, it is what it is. It's like United Bamboo. I think I've been over that one before too. And Bahalana boys. Bahalana. Wonder what company they work for. Oh, shucks. Only reason I'm saying shucks is because you got shook corn, and you got shook rice, and you got shuck and jive too. You jive turkeys. You like to shuck and jive. You like to talk that jazz talk. You like to talk that Slick Willie shit. Huh? Okay, on the way to the Tilly Whopper. On the way to the pad, which is the flat, which is where my bed is located, if you want to rumble. Bitch. Rumble in your cuckoo. Didn't say anything wrong, I just said I'm rumbling and I'm crazy, and they're crazy about me. They're crazy. So don't flag me on the plane. But yeah, just because you guys speak that jazz talk, that Slick Willie shit, you think people don't know what the hell you're saying, what the hell you're driving at. Try to cover it up and make it sound like you're talking about roll with me, Henry. You want Henry to roll with you. You want some gravy on your mashed potatoes, bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you? Play with me like that. The bitches want mashed potatoes. You want gravy. You want give you gravy tonight. The bitches want gravy. All in your face. Don't do that fucking slick talking to me. And be angry at me when I understand, well, not understand, when I overstand your whole fucking message, and then I tell you, eat my asshole out. It's that motherfucking bitch ass homosexual that tried to crop dust a bunch of people in a restaurant while they were eating dinner. If he didn't lose his motherfucking job, then you people are full of shit. Because not only was that disgusting, but that's not what the fuck a server in a restaurant is supposed to do. I mean, look, when I worked in a restaurant, I did my job. That's why Nick Cannon's mom was trying to give me some pussy. Beth. many times are we gonna go, man, I'm tired of telling the same story over and over again. Shit is boring. Mariah Carey's mother-in-law was trying to give little old me some taco salad. Ain't that the Monarch program people though? Ain't that the butterfly people? Ain't that the she has a whole gay army and shit? Mariah Carey does. That ain't where Beyonce learned that shit from. She didn't learn that shit from Mariah Carey. It's not like a crossover gay army that they use to cheat the system. It's like whatever she does, we're gonna make sure she goes platinum. We're gonna make sure she crashes into country music because there's gay people there too. And some of those people aren't concerned with wearing no damn rainbow. They've been gay. And they live their lives just fine, for the most part. They even have had their own churches and been going to church. And they still been on Brokeback Mountain. They don't need everybody to know that. Not because they're ashamed of it. Because I'm sure when they go to the damn square dance thing and they're all kicking their boots around, them girls in there are like, man, he don't like us. They'll even say it. They'll say, them boys are over there doing this and them boys are over there doing that. Them boys are over there playing with each other. More of that at bestest. Them boys out there playing with each other. So I would venture to say that even if there are homosexuals in rural areas, and there are, that their culture has been a little bit more cohesive, and as such, they haven't felt the need to broadcast and politicize who and what they love, aside from the territory or the area they live in. There are those that will say that the debaucherousness is the issue, right? It's Little Debbie. Little debaucherousness. Oftentimes, those are people who cannot handle the debacles they find themselves in. Timberlake Construction. Let's say that someone wants to be wild and free. How would they go about that, honestly? See, I don't support all black business because some of them people, I don't want nothing to do with them. A lot of their own people don't want nothing to do with them neither, so don't take it personally. Some people spend their whole lives running from their families. A lot of them gay, a lot of them lesbians, a lot of them open about that stuff. If you're telling me that your homosexuality and your transgenderness is more important to you than anything else, you're asking for problems. You're trying to say that that's your religion and that's your nation and you should be protected and under religious titles and under national titles based on that sort of behavior. Nations are destroyed all the time. Just because you have a nation doesn't mean you're going to keep it. I mean, look at it. A lot of time, this money that's going to these people, we're going to revamp America. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. A lot of this money is going directly into Mexico and other places. Why do you think that this country is in debt the way it is? I'll tell you why. Explain it to us. Tell me why. Okay. Because these people are sending money out of the United States to other countries. Whether that's via Western Union or whatever way they have to send money to another country, as well as the exchange rates in doing so. And I've explained this already. If I send money from here to a place where their national currency, their national standard is very much below what it is that I'm making here, how much money am I really making working here? Let's think globally for a second. Let's think economically for a moment. You'd have to know currency exchange rates in order to do this, play this game. If I work here for $35 an hour and I send my money to Mexico, how much money did I really make? Don't worry, there's no right or wrong answer. Mostly because of exchange rates and how they fluctuate, as well as, I mean, there's so many currency exchanges. Now, some people will say that that's flawed math. That actually whatever amount of money that is here is always in circulation and this government just prints money. Yes, it does, because money carries germs and diseases and becomes hard to clean after a certain point. for those who know about laundering. It becomes hard to shake the feds and those marked bills after a certain point. Federal government has to take that old dirty money and wash it. Put new money out there. Because you dirty motherfuckers like to hide money in your butt cheeks and then hand it to people. You like to hide cash money in your twat and then hand it to human beings at the damn grocery counter. Don't worry, it's called a counter because those people used to have to know how to count. At very least to use a calculator. It's not called a grocery counter just because you put your groceries on the counter. A little bit more to it than that. If I make money here and I send it to Mexico, I probably made much more money than you're aware of. Especially if I could go to Mexico and see my money that I sent. It's one thing if I'm just sending money overseas and can't see it in action. But if I can send my money elsewhere and see and experience the benefit from doing so, well then technically when I was in America going to work, I was just working and contracting overseas pretty much. Only without so many issues, without having to pay so many taxes on my dollars. Especially if I have family over there. If I have family in Mexico and I send my money from the United States to Mexico, I mean, then they brag about it. They're like, I take care of my family. I do this, I do that. Well, they're not making it so hard for you to do so, are they? It's much more difficult to live here, be from here, and that's it. And take care of yourself and your family in the process. There's no way to beat the system. I mean, there are ways to beat the system. However, it's not as easy to beat the system. Not as easy as going into Walmart. And they don't care because they're just collecting the money and putting that shit in the till. Bam, 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 bam. Send that shit. We don't care. This is going right into an account. A corporate account, which is taxed and regulated differently than a private bank account too. You'd have to know that. Now, I'm not going to turn the tables on my Native American family because they're landlocked. They are surrounded. And they are paying this government for protection. You think they're not? try to get at you any way they can. They're like, well, what is it that he cares about? What is it that matters? They're trying to get at you however they could try to get at you. To try to diminish you. To try to fucking diminish your spirit. Could be that you're the strongest man on earth, but they see you with somebody. They're not going to approach you. They're going to approach that person. Same as in the Lord of the Rings. They're going to approach that person you accepted. It's that Trojan stuff. They're saying, oh, they're stealing our technology. They're not stealing your technology. You're letting them go to school here. You're letting them work here. You're letting them work for companies that then they know trade secrets. They know your fucking company inside and out. They learn it and then they leave. Some of these companies, when you quit or when you're fired, they walk your ass to the door. What does that matter? Other than it's slightly humiliating. But what does it matter? They can't wash your fucking brain. You know what you know. And you can take all of that information to another company and help them win. If I work in your factory, if I work in your business, and I move up the ladder, or I don't. I could just be the fucking janitor and be observant enough. Observant enough. That B and that V. Same. I could be observant enough and know all about the interior workings of your business. And how to exploit you, your company, and everything else. You really think it's government spies? They're like, oh, this motherfucker's spying for China. This motherfucker. Them people work in your companies. Who's not supposed to do that? The military. Only the higher ups can sit at meetings together and tell each other things. Your lower level motherfuckers start telling the other team what is what and what is what, and then that's treason. You're spying. You're working for the government. Everybody around here, well, not everybody, but a lot of people around here, they got their windows up. Because these construction workers are fucking people up, going left and right, wherever they're going. And getting paid to do it. And they're like, they're making us breathe it, so you can breathe it too. No, you're getting paid. They're not paying me to breathe that shit. They're paying you to breathe that shit. So how the fuck I gotta breathe it? Let these people fuck with your head if you want to. Listen, if I work in telecoms, in telecommunications, and I hire people from fucking China, well, guess what? When they know how to build what you know how to build, they know how to do it too. Stupid. Did you go do your foreign exchange stuff in China? Did you go to China and learn how to program? Did you go there and learn how to build? Did you go to Bangladesh? And that's where you learn to flog each other? How to whip and can one another? You learned that shit in Malaysia? When they was whooping that boy? And people was laughing at him. And the government was like, no, don't do that. Oh, he spray painted on some shit. And they beat that boy damn near to death. Little white boy beat his ass almost to death. All the skin they ripped off that little kid.